Hello. Part 2 of leveraging fat. So another instance where maybe someone's doing 2-to-1 for a while, and when it would be appropriate for them to back off is if they're having a really good response. For instance, I have a client that I'm working with. We've been working together for almost 5 months now, and she is heavily oxalate dumping. She has quite a rash. It's come through her skin, actual crystals, pretty wild to see, but that high fat has been facilitating detoxification, primarily oxalate dumping for this individual. She is dumping at such a rate that honestly we needed to slow it down a little bit. So that is when fat can be used as a lever. This is a good scenario where I would say, okay, your body clearly knows how to use fat for fuel. And there are instances where she's just not hungry for the amount of fat she's been eating, which is around 230 or so grams of fat per day. So I said, go ahead and lean into your appetite a little bit more. Don't force yourself to eat that full 230 grams of fat, maybe back down to 200. That's still going to be more than enough to support your hormones, healing your gut, and the detoxification. It was just that high fat that was really helpful to facilitate the ramping up of detoxification, getting the body into preferring fat for fuel. For some other people, they might not have the flexibility to back down on the fat as early as this individual did. But because of her adrenal status and hormonal status, I think it is the right move to actually back down a little bit. She's going to continue to detox. She's going to continue to reap the benefits. She's still preferring fat for fuel. Her body loves to burn fat for fuel, but we don't need to keep it as high. That's one scenario. This can be applied to anything detoxification. If someone feels like they're detoxing too hard, almost having like a Herxheimer reaction, pull back the fat. That is the lever for detox. That is also the lever for your sex hormones, cholesterol to be precise. I have worked with many women to reverse menopause. If someone doesn't want to become fertile again, understandable if someone's in their 60s and they don't want to have another child, but they are sexually active, then I would say, okay, let's ramp it up, get you fat adapted, get the therapeutic effects, heal your body, get you as hormonally stable as possible. But if you don't want to become fertile again, then I would suggest you actually cap the fat maybe closer to 200 and don't go up to 250, 270, because the higher it goes, the more you are supporting and ultimately fueling your sex hormones. You can still reap the benefits, but you don't have to take it all the way. This is a personal choice, obviously. Other scenarios where you can use the fat as a lever, and this is the one I think most people are interested in, is when can I pull back the dietary fat so I can burn more of my own body fat? It's when you're sleeping through the night. It's when your mood is pretty stable through the day. Your energy is stable. You're not having cravings. You don't struggle with food addiction. You can say that you're pretty much stable. Your hair shouldn't be falling out. Your thyroid should be fully supported and healthy and stable. That's when you should be playing around with protein-sparing modified fast days, basically where you're pulling back the dietary fat 1 or 2 days per week and just focusing on protein. This is going to allow you to tap into more of your own body fat. I don't think people who are not stable should be really playing with this. There are some scenarios where I think it's safe to dip your toes in the water as a tester to see if your body's ready to respond to it. But don't be shocked. If you're still healing your thyroid, please don't be shocked if you don't lose anything. Your body is so much smarter than responding to calories in, calories out. It's not that simple. And I have a whole nother video called It's Just Not That Simple. Ways to leverage fat. Fat is so underrated. Let's talk about healing the gut. Saturated animal fat is the #1 most underrated thing to heal and seal the gut, in my opinion. Take it from someone who had to heal her gut to live. At 69 pounds due to a chronic CDiff infection, my gut was so messed up. I took 13 rounds of antibiotics. I took benzopidines for 13 years. Never thought of that, 13 and 13. So anyways, my gut was toast. It was cooked. And the saturated fat, I believe, is the #1 player. That plus removing the interference of heavy oxalate. So that was a switch from keto to carnivore for me, which was necessary. Not necessary for everyone, but that was necessary for me. The fat is amazing for healing and sealing the gut. So what about all the other things like probiotics, prebiotics, fermented foods, bone broth, glutathione, supplements for the gut? I think they're overrated. think they're really overrated because I healed and sealed my gut without any supplements. I used fat. I used food as medicine. I did a little bit of broth in the beginning. I had histamine intolerance because of it, but I've worked with many who don't do any broth and they still heal their gut just from eating fatty lamb. So the fat is where it's at. It contains the nutrients that are going to heal and seal your gut, and they are so anti-inflammatory. It's so good for your insides. If you feel inflamed, irritated, bloated, whatever, the saturated fat is where it's at. I think this is pretty good for a part 2. Let's wrap it up there.